Think about the last thing you were seriously worried about: the interview, the diagnosis, the conversation you were dreading, the thing you lost sleep over. Now ask yourself honestly, did it actually happen the way you feared? For almost everyone, the answer is no. Not it turned out fine. No, it usually didn't even happen at all. There's a 2,000-year-old Stoic exercise built entirely around this one observation. Today, we're going to prove it with your own memory. Seneca wrote a line that sounds almost as simple: "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." He wasn't being poetic. He meant it literally, as a measurable pattern. Here's the mechanism. Your brain can't tell the difference between a real threat and an imagined one. Both trigger the same stress response. So when you rehearse a worst-case scenario in your head, your body reacts as if it's already happening. You pay the emotional cost in advance, whether or not the event ever occurs. The Stoics noticed this pattern so clearly that they built a specific practice around it, one you can test on yourself in the next 60 seconds. Proof 1: the math behind 90%. This isn't just a motivational number. It comes from a simple observation the Stoics made and modern psychology later confirmed. Most of what you're worrying about falls into one of three outcomes. It never happens, it happens, but far milder than you imagined, or it happens exactly as feared. Track your own worries for even a single week, and the pattern becomes obvious. The overwhelming majority land in that first category, not because you're lucky, because the human brain, left unchecked, defaults to worst-case simulation. It's a survival mechanism from an era of real physical danger, now misfiring on emails and conversations. Marcus Aurelius kept private notes, reminding himself of this exact tendency, that his mind kept treating imagined threats as certain ones, and that most of what disturbed him during the day existed only in his own head, not in the world outside it. The proof isn't philosophical. It's just arithmetic you've never bothered to track. Proof 2: the premeditation trick that flips this. The Stoics didn't just observe this pattern, they weaponized it. It's called Premeditatio Malorum, premeditation of evils, deliberately imagining a bad outcome, in detail, ahead of time. This sounds like it would make worrying worse. It does the opposite. Here's why. When you deliberately sit with the worst-case scenario for 2 minutes, on purpose, with full attention, your brain files it as already processed. The unconscious looping stops, because the thing it was trying to warn you about has now been consciously acknowledged. Compare that to passive worrying, where the same fear resurfaces 10 times a day, each time as if it's new information. Premeditation does the imagining once, deliberately, and closes the loop. Passive worrying does it accidentally, forever, and never closes anything. Seneca used this exact technique before difficult journeys and business dealings, imagining the worst outcome in advance, specifically, so the actual event, whatever it turned out to be, would feel manageable by comparison. Proof 3: why the 10% doesn't disprove this. Fair question. What about the small percentage of worries that do come true? Doesn't that mean worrying was justified? No. And this is the part most people miss. Even when a feared event happens, the version you rehearsed in your head is almost never the version that actually occurs. You worried about the exact wording of a rejection. Reality gave you a different sentence entirely. You feared a specific reaction from someone. They reacted in a way you never simulated. Which means even in the 10% where something did happen, the hours you spent simulating it were still wasted, because reality wrote its own script anyway. The Stoics understood that preparation and worrying are not the same tool. Preparation asks, what can I do? Worrying just replays what might happen, and reality rarely follows the replay. So, 3 things worth carrying with you. Most of what you fear never happens. That's not luck. It's a pattern you can verify yourself. Deliberately imagining the worst, once, on purpose, closes the loop that passive worrying keeps open forever. And even the rare cases that do happen almost never match what you rehearsed. so the rehearsal was never protecting you in the first place. The Stoics weren't telling people to stop caring. They were telling them to stop paying an emotional tax on things that mostly never arrive. If you tracked your own worries for a week, you'd probably find the same 90%. If this gave you a clearer way to think about it, subscribe. Daily Stoic Wisdom brings you one practical shift like this every week.